Working at a well and septic company isn't always about pumping poop and fixing people's wells. Sometimes we get to destroy their faith in humanity, crush their hopes and dreams, and lead them to massive disappointment in their friends, family, and loved ones. And that is exactly what we got to do today on complete accident and by mistake. We got called out to pump the septic tank for a customer, and whenever we got there, we did all the basic stuff. We dug up the tank, took the lids off, went to the truck, and got the hose. Now, for some reason, as soon as you take the lids off of a septic tank, that is the moment that the customer is going to decide to come over and look. And they're going to do two things. It's very predictable. Number one, they're going to comment on how bad it smells and want us to tell them how we can put up with it. And the answer to that question is we're paid to be here. The second thing that they always do is they look in the tank. Listen, it's your poo. There's nothing to look at. You've literally wiped this off your ass and thrown it away. Why does everybody look at it again? I don't understand. In any event, when he looks at last week's poo, he sees the same thing in the tank that we see, which is a whole bunch of hypodermic needles. And he stops and he says, "What are those?" And we look down and we're like, "Those are needles." And he says, "What kind of needles?" And we're like, "The pointy kind." "I don't know. I'm not examining them." We're like, "Well, sir, sometimes people have like diabetes or insulin problems or other injectable medicines, or sometimes people are just drug addicts and they flush their needles down the toilet so that nobody catches them. The leftover needles, kind of like a dead giveaway if anybody finds it in their room." And he goes, "Huh." And he just thinks for a second. We're like, okay, we start sucking it out. And he goes, "So they had to come from my house?" Yes, they did. We are on the same page. These needles came from your house. So he thinks for a little bit and he's like, "Well, there's only two other people that live here, my wife and my 19-year-old daughter. And I know it's not my wife." I said, "Well, it's probably your daughter." He says, "Surely not." And I was like, "Well, is she skinny?" He goes, "Yeah, she can't put on weight to save her life. We keep trying to get her to gain weight. She barely weighs 110 pounds. And then it hit him. She's not gaining weight because she's not eating. She's not gaining weight because she's a drug addict. The level of disappointment that came over this guy's face was enough to make all of us stop talking and just focus on doing our job, because this guy was obviously struggling to just take all this in and process it. And we just kind of decided to keep our mouth shut. And he went and walked off and went inside the house. And I just kind of looked at the guy that I was pumping the tank with, and I was like, "We should probably pack up and go." He's like, "You got to get paid." And I'm like, "We'll worry about that another day." And we left, obviously after we covered up the tank and everything. Here's the deal, ladies and gents. This guy lived with his 19-year-old daughter that came home from college and had absolutely no idea that she had a substance abuse problem. Do not think just because you know somebody that they must not have a problem. There's a lot of people in society that have problems, that are hiding it and desperately need help, whether they know it or not. Keep your eyes open, check on your kids, check on your loved ones, and be there to help them if they have a problem. Don't meet it with anger, meet it with love. The best way to support the channel is head over to the merch store, buy yourself a t-shirt or sweatshirt. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with this beautiful view here at Asheville-Buncombe County Technical Community College of the mountains of Western North Carolina. I hope you enjoy 10 seconds of mountains.